A little worm was trying to get in there. May have picked this just in time. Hey, my name is Corey. We're gonna make some zucchini bread because I have to figure a way out to cook this up every other day differently than just sauteing it with some salt and pepper and oil, which is really, really good and we all like it. But this is gonna be amazing. So I'm gonna give credit where credit is due, and I went online and saw that there was like 20 different recipes that said they were the world's best. But I went with one of the people that I watch online, Stiver's Homestead with Zach and Jen, and they were right. That is one of the best zucchini breads I've ever made or eaten in my life. So I'm not gonna keep looking for any other ones. So let me show you what you need. What you're gonna need for this is 1.5 cups of your hard winter red and hard winter white wheat, and I'm gonna show you how I did that, and I mix it together. I do half of each. I do 1 cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 4 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of olive oil, and that's the second thing that I changed. She called for vegetable oil. We really don't cook with that. So I used olive oil and it was delicious. It ended up being just fine. So if you do not have olive oil and you have vegetable oil, go ahead and use it. But those are the only 2 things I changed, was the flour and the oil. 1/2 cup of the olive oil, 2 eggs, 1 1/4 cup of zucchinis shredded, and squeeze all that water out. I'm gonna cut the end off there because I saw a little worm trying to get into my zucchini. And I'm just gonna start shredding. And what I'm gonna do is save myself a step. I'm gonna shred it right on this cheesecloth. You can use a dish towel or a hand towel or whatever you got. But I happen to have this, so I'm gonna use it. I'm not dirtying up a bowl. I'm just gonna do 1.25 cups. So after you squeeze all that water out, there's a lot in there. You may need to do a little bit more, but this is a pretty big size one. The last zucchini bread I made, I only needed a smaller one of these. So I think we're gonna be good. And I actually, last time, I took the skin off. She said she did it because that way her kids wouldn't know that was in there, but they ended up loving it so much anyways, but you can leave the skins on. I'm gonna do the skins on this time because I think it's gonna pop a little bit more color in there. It's gonna be cooked anyway, so it'll be pretty. I did the whole thing, even if it's too much, because if I have enough for 2, that'd be nice. I doubt it, but I would like to make 2 loaves at one time. She said that you can put this in the freezer and it lasts a good year if you don't eat it before that. So I'm going to make it and freeze it, make it and freeze it for the rest of the season. I get this until the vine borers come and ruin everything, or those little worms come along and ruin everything. So I'm gonna take this in a bowl. I'm just gonna do this in my bowl right here, and you're gonna, look at this. You hear that? There's a lot of moisture. So if I have extra, I'm just gonna put it in a Ziploc bag and wait until I get another piece and just add it to it. And it'll store in the fridge for a while until I get another zucchini. There is a lot of water in here. Try to get it all out. You don't want that in your bread. It's gonna be moist enough with just the zucchini itself. I'm kind of new to milling my own bread. I've been doing it for about a year, and I've learned that not all recipes you can follow for store-bought flour. It doesn't turn out the same. But the best breads I have made so far are by far this one, zucchini bread, and the banana bread. And I think the reason why is because whole wheat still has a fiber on it. That's why it's good for you. And it tends to be drier. So what I've been doing is I'll let this sit in, when I mix it all together, I'll let it sit for like 10 minutes to really get some of that moisture in there into the flour. So what I'm gonna do is get 1 cup of sugar, which I think is a lot. But when I said that to my boo, he whipped his head around and told me not to change a thing. So I'm doing a little bit less than a cup, just for me. And then you want to put 2 eggs in it. And my eggs are always on the counter. So they're room temperature. And I've heard with baking, that's kind of important. Those are my eggs for my chickens. And what you want to do is blend this until it's kind of smooth. I just own a hand mixer here. I don't have the big fancy stuff. I mix it quick. Nice and smooth, blend it in. Just like that. Then I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. So none of this stuff I've changed, just the flour and the oil I use. That's a lot. A little bit less than that in there. 1.5 teaspoons maybe. Looks like a lot. After that, we're going to do our baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of the baking powder. This is pretty easy. It goes by really, really fast. It takes a little bit longer to cook it, about 45 minutes. You might want to preheat your oven right now to 350 if you're following along. And then I'm going to do my baking powder, which is 1 teaspoon, so that's 1/2. There we go, we got that. Teaspoon of vanilla. Nummy, nummy. And then a teaspoon of salt. I use Redmond's. You can use whatever salt you have. I'm going to use 1/2 cup of oil, olive oil. This is my Buddha belly. He's my Buddha bottle. I think it was a beer bottle, but I've been using it for years. So 1/2 cup of olive oil or vegetable oil. Come on, buddy. Come on, come on. Just like that. 2 eggs, which we've already done. And then I'm going to measure out 1 1/4 cup of, I'm going to put the zucchini in last, I think. So now I'm going to show you what I do with the flour. This is my flour. This is how I keep my flour right next to my mill, so it's easy. This one here on the left is my winter wheat red. I said that all wrong. Winter red, it's a hard red winter wheat, and this is hard red white wheat. The white makes things a little bit softer, so I like to mix them together. Obviously I use the white one a little bit more than I use the other one, but this is my wheat grain that I mill. This is my Nutri-Mill. I bought myself a little birthday present about a little over a year ago, and so that's what I've been using. I love it. It's beautiful. They're a little pricey, but this is a stone mill, so you got 2 stones doing your mill for you. So the one thing I always forget is to turn this on before you put the wheat berries inside. If you do put the wheat berries in first, you're gonna have to dump it out, wipe it out, and start all over again. And I can't tell you how many times I've done that. So you always turn it on before you pour it in. The other thing I wanted to say before I start this for this recipe is, because it's gonna be loud when I do it, so I put 1/2 cup of the red and 1/2 cup of the white in here, and I'll blend and mix together, and then I'll measure out 1.5 cups. It fluffs up, so you're gonna get more than this, so you'll have plenty. Closer to 2 cups will make 1 cup will turn into almost 2 cups for you. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's take this off. Turn it on. people are like, I don't have that much time to be milling my own flour. Well, when it's right there on the counter and you just put it in there and it's that quick, it's actually faster for me to do that than it is to look for my flour in the pantry. So anyways, I love this. It's beautiful. Haven't had any problems with it at all. It's made out of bamboo. It's great. But if you touch this flour right here, it's still warm. It's almost hot. But it's pretty amazing. So my flour is all blended together. And the white may make it a little bit softer of a bread. So it's already done. There's one. Let me double check. It's 1.5 cups. Yeah, it's 1.5 cups. But see how easy that is? Everybody should have one of these. They're kind of pricey. But I guess I felt like I'm worth it. And if you haven't any extra in your bowl, I mean, that's not much, but I use it like as a thickener if I need to use a thickener. In fact, I'm just gonna pour it all in there. There wasn't much in there. And then we're gonna start mixing this. Do just a little mix. So you see what the texture is. It's gonna look kind of thick, but the zucchini is gonna give it the moisture that you're gonna want. There you go. That's it. Now I'm gonna measure out 1.5 cups, 1.25 cups of my zucchini. That's 1/2 cup. Put 2 of these in there. So I have a little bit left over. And I'm just gonna put that in a Ziploc bag and put it in the fridge for the next batch in case I get a smaller zucchini or something. And then let's mix that together. Perfect. So I got my Buddha belly olive oil, paper towel. I'm just gonna get these edges real good so it don't stick. Just like that, maybe a little around here, just for good measure. I'll pour her in. I'm telling you, I love this bread. It was delicious. We've been eating it every day. I'm hoping I get enough zucchini without worm damage out there. I'm gonna have to spray some compost tea on everything. So that's what it looks like now. And we pop it in the oven. As soon as the oven's ready, 350 for 45 minutes. I checked it at 40 because everybody's ovens are different. And I still needed like an extra 8 or 9 minutes when I checked the middle with whatever I checked it. I think it was a chopstick. And then I'll be back and I'll show you how good it is. My timer just went off. It smells really, really good. Oven mitt, we'll check it. It's been in there for 45 minutes. It looks beautiful. This is exactly how it looked when I made it last time. I'm just gonna show you real quick. So what I did last time is just went right in the middle, see if it was done. And I see just a little bit of moisture in there. It's kind of sticky. It should not be sticky. Almost feels like a banana. So I'm gonna put it in there for another like 4-5 minutes, or 5 minutes, and then we'll check it again. Okay, I put it in there for another 6 or 7 minutes. 5 minutes. Should be done. This is what I did last time too. Just because maybe it's just my oven. Let me see. Chopstick. Watch. There she is. Go right in the middle, thickest part. I'm gonna pull it out, and now it's clean. It doesn't have the sticky stuff on it. And I think it's gonna keep on cooking anyway because it's so hot. So anyways, it's beautiful though, right? So we'll let it cool, and then we're gonna have a taste test when it cools down. I cannot wait. And I can't wait to see the colors of this zucchini skin on it. You don't have to leave it on it, but I'm excited. Well, she's done. She's nice and cool. So I'm gonna take it out. I'm kind of curious to see if it looks any different than the one where I took the peelings off. I skinned it. Because it's probably gonna taste the same because I did everything else exactly the same. But I have the other loaf that I did a couple days ago, so I'll show you the insides and show you what they look, how different they look. So this is it. It smells super good. It's very soft. Look at that. I can see flecks of green in there. Definitely. So now let me take a bite and see if it tastes any different. It's so good. You don't even need butter. You have to try this. Let me show you the other one. I've kept it in this like bag, and it has stayed super, super moist. I made this like, oh my goodness, like 3 days ago. And we've been eating on it. But I'll show you the difference. Look, it is so moist still. Kept it in just a bag. But you can see the difference a little bit. A little more green in here. Can't really see in this lighting. It's really pretty. So anyways, I hope you give it a try. We love it. I'm gonna make them and freeze them, like I said, until my plants no longer give me any more zucchini. But this is another one to try out that super easy and super good and so nice. Doesn't even need butter. Anyways, that's all I got. I will talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.